Welcome everyone to the association, and in today's video we're going to be focusing on how to create an open door model. You can see the model we have in front of us here is the closed door. This is normally what you would get from anywhere, whether it's the Sweet Home online library or Archive 3D, Free 3D, any of them. Usually it's going to be like this. You're not going to have an open door. You might be able to get a door frame, but you're not going to be able to get an open door. And when I'm walking around in my creations, I'd like to have the door open. This is a bedroom here, albeit a very large bedroom. We've probably overscaled a little bit, but it is a bedroom. This is our living room here. We haven't worked on this house in a very long time, but we thought it'd be great to do a tutorial. A few prerequisites, and then we'll jump right into it. Just have a basic understanding of Sweet Home 3D, how to draw your walls, how to do second stories, how to join walls, things of that nature. And the number two, which I've totally forgotten. It's okay though, but it's just good to have a basic understanding of this before you dive into a tutorial. Okay. Just get the fundamentals. But anyway, so let's say you've gotten your door, right? Let's say we've gotten this door. We got it from, probably got this one from Archive 3D a long time ago. Really nice door. It's kind of neutral, it kind of leans traditional, kind of leans to contemporary, right? So you can use this anywhere. Okay, so we've gotten this door, and that's the way it's come. It's come with the door frame and all that. Okay, so let's say, we want to have an open door. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the door frame and the door are independent of each other. You can see here I have the door highlighted, and I had the door frame highlighted just a moment ago. Okay, so what I want to do, I know the second thing. We're going to make that door frame invisible, but watch the video first before you go diving into the tutorial. It's very easy, but again, you just want to sit back, relax, make sure you understand what we're doing here. Okay, that was the second thing. I knew there was something else. Anyway, so we've got our door here, okay, and we were able to delete the door frame. Now, we can't see that door frame, but your PC still does. And if you're on a lower spec machine, perhaps a laptop, something like that, that door frame is still drawing resources from the PC. And so how do we fix that? Because we don't want to be glitching out at 10 or 5 FPS, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to export it like we've just done. We're going to put it into a folder. We have Sweet Home Builds. That's where everything goes that we want to reuse. And we're going to go and we're not going to be doing a lot of editing here, folks. So it's going to be unedited. And it just gives you a better understanding how we did it, and to know that you also can do it. There's no tricks and anything like that. We've got some tips along the way, but we don't have any tricks here. So it's straightforward. So I'm digging around here in our Sweet Home Builds, trying to find that door. Okay, and there it is. So we're going to put that in our importer, and we're going to close this out. We don't need this Windows Explorer, File Explorer any longer. So we're going to go ahead and bring this in. We're going to show you. We're going to click on the door model here. As soon as we get this imported, it looks pretty good. Don't have to change anything here. That's great. Perfect. And there we go. Again, we're going to click on the door, and we're going to go into the materials, model materials dialog box here. And as you can see, the door frame is gone. Right? So we don't have to worry about your PC drawing resources from it. Okay, we have a pretty decent machine, and still in all, we don't want that door frame drawing resources if we don't need it to be, right? That just makes all the sense in the world. So you don't want to shortcut here and just say I'll make it invisible, and then I'll carry on with the what we're going to do here with the tutorial, right? I'm going to do it proper. Okay, so what's next? As my voice slowly goes away from me, so there's the one we just built that. And we're going to go outside and we're going to build another one. So, a couple things, one thing of note here. You want to make sure you're on the second level. You don't want to do this on the first level. You're going to be super disappointed. So, you want to go on a second level. So, Control-Alt-N will get you on a second level. If you have a second story, that's great. You just work on the outside of your house on that second story. And if you don't, again, Control Alt N will get you up to a second story. So let's step outside. All right, guys. So you can see we have our little example here, which is a door frame. Which it's basically we did one earlier. Excuse me. But anyway, we've got a little box here. We're going to use this for measuring. And again, this is a super straightforward. We will be taking our time. I'm going to stress again that you be on a second level, a third level, a fifth level, a 10th level. Doesn't matter. But you don't want to be on the ground level. Okay? If you're on the ground level, this will not go well for you. So you want to be on the second level or above. Okay? Or level whatever. That says that's messed up, but that's fine. You get the picture. So let's go into preferences here, and we're going to take our wall height down to 1/8 inch. Okay, if you're using meters, centimeters, you're just taking that arrow down as far as it will let you, which and then you're good to go. Okay, the wall height doesn't really matter, but I would make it maybe like 1 foot or something like that. And of course, the new floor thickness, next level floor thickness, also doesn't really matter. So, all right, so we're good to go, and we're going to begin drawing our wall. So what we're going to be doing is basically, as you can see with the other door frame there, is a rectangle. All right, so we're going to go up. We're going to swing it right here at the top, and we're going to make a detour. We're going to come back the way we came. That's it. We're going back. Turn the car around. Okay, so then we're going to finish up. I'm going to hang it right down here at the bottom. And we're going to finish our rectangle. Now we're going to meet that line that's at the top, the top line. And we want to make sure that we join that wall. So we want to get it to where it's touching and double click. Okay. We're just trying to judge our distance, make sure our distance is good. We're going to get a prompt here. There's your prompt. Okay. So now you make your left here. And, and there you go. You got the prompt, you double click, and there you go. You're in. There we go. So now we're going to do the bottom part. We're going to go back to the cursor, which is, I think, Control L. Or you can just click the little arrow icon at the top of the screen here. Yep. And then you just left click to clear, the highlights of the wall. Then we can go back to Control Shift W, and we can finish drawing our wall. So now for this one, we're going to go to the lower line. We have a prompt, and we can finish. Double click. Okay, just like that. Okay, no tricks. Yeah, I think that wall looks, I think we're good. Okay, just checking, just inspecting. It never hurts to inspect your work. We've mentioned on this channel, it never hurts, because if you don't, and you just make sure that line's straight. I want to make sure this line's straight. If you don't inspect, you're going to be, you may be in the world of hurt, down the line, and when, hey, I should have made sure that line was straight, that corner is square, what have you, right? So it never hurts to look over your work to make sure it's good, so that you don't have to go back. So we're going to take this bottom line. This is kind of like our bottom of the door frame. We're going to highlight this, and we're just going to up arrow key, words, English, all that stuff. Right? You don't want a left arrow key or right, just up arrow key. Okay. And what we want to do is get these lines as close as we can together. Okay. We don't want them to touch, because we're going to make a room out of this. Eventually, which is like our next step after we measure. Okay, so I'm just using a pixie, or I call it a pixie line. It is a polyline. And these are actually great for measuring. So we know there's space in between there. Okay, and I just want to check out our little comparison, our first exam. We did this off camera, and just to make sure everything was okay. All right, make sure we were doing it right, and we weren't messing up, because we do mess up. We'd like to do tutorials here on the channel, but sometimes the teacher, screws up a lot, and that's not good, because that can tick people off. Anyway, so we have this box here. We're going to do some measuring real quick. We're going to make this 4 by 4 by 4 inches. Okay, and all we're going to simply do is take our box, and we're going to put it right against. You can see I can't push back. You can, if you do it hard enough, you can pop out of there. But for all intents and purposes, it's right against the wall there. And we're going to click our right wall. It's opposite. And we're going to left arrow key. You don't want to up, you don't want to down, arrow, left arrow. And you're going to meet it. You don't want to overlap the box there. You want to just have it touching. And then you're good. Right? So basically we're looking at, I think it was, I don't remember what it was, 4 inches across, something like that. So if we're 4 1/8, whatever, that's okay. We're hobbyists, okay? We're not, hopefully no one's doing a client job on Sweet Home 3D, okay? maybe someday. But it doesn't have to be perfect, we're hobbyists. Okay, so the top looks good here. We're gonna head around to the other side. You can see there that, oh, I don't know what happened there. What happened here? So we're gonna up arrow with this line here. Again, we're not editing anything out, okay? That is interesting. So we just we have 2 options. We can either up arrow and rejoin this wall. That's what we're gonna do. Or you could delete that wall, okay, the one on the right, and take this one on the left and just draw and meet the corner over there on the right. So you have 2 options, right? If you're drawing walls in Sweet Home 3D, you should be able to handle that issue if it arises. I don't know. I think we might have bumped something, by mistake. Anyway, what we want to do is we're going to hold Control, and we're going to highlight both of these walls because we need to bring them both up at the same time. So by holding Control, I think it's Control. I hope it's Control. And again, we're terrible teacher. And then arrow up. We have muscle memory. You just do it, you just do it right at the gate. It's not a problem. But when you try to get, it's like someone asks you how to get to, like, there's a McDonald's, right? How do you get to McDonald's? And it's like, oh yeah, I think you get down to the second. I think there's a second like that. But if you get in the car, you drive it, you can go right to that McDonald's, right? It's something like that. That's the best way that I can explain it. Anyway, so let's do the same thing on the other side, and I'm going to stop rambling. Perfect. So now that our measurement is good all the way around, and again, I can use a polyline to make sure that my measurement is solid here. And I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to Control J. And we are good. That's close enough. Again, we're hobbyists. Okay, so that's done. So now we have our threshold there at the bottom. It's all good. We're measured. We're all good there. We're going to go up to rooms. Or we Control Shift R. Because we use keyboard shortcuts. Makes things a little quicker. And then we can just double click in the space. And then we should, if you're not getting a room, okay, that means you have a breach, which means, we use the word breach. It just means that there's a wall not joined or connected, what have you, okay? So that means there's a wall out there that's not connected, and you'll have to go around to find out where that wall is. We're going to immediately check the ceiling box here, because we don't want the ceiling following us around. Okay, so we'll go ahead and uncheck that box, and we're going to go into textures while we're here, and we're going to find ourselves, just something to look at, other than the gray. Okay, that will do. That will do. Does it fit the room? Have no idea. Probably not, but it's something pleasant to look at. Looks like the this is, so another tip here. All right, another tip. Has nothing to do with the tutorial, okay? But when you're using textures, especially, textures are normally like photos, right? You want to keep your scale level down. we hardly use 100%. So we usually start at 70 and down, right? So if something larger like this, we might scale down to like maybe like 50 if we can. If it doesn't look ridiculous and it's not repeating, like you see that almost like there's a pattern to it, just that over and over again, then we might bring the scale up to maybe like 70 or something like that, or 60, right? If it's something small, let's say you have a lamp, then that you can bring that scale down to like 30, maybe even 20, right? But the larger that scale, again, the more resources are going to be needed to produce that texture. So just a little tip there, all right? So we do like to do tips along the way. It may have nothing to do with the tutorial, and that one doesn't, but hey, you can use it, right? These are tips and things we learned along the way. We've been doing this for quite a long time. The channel doesn't show it, but we've been doing this for a long time. Anyway, so I have the box here, just setting this up, just to try to point out the hairline, and there is no hairline here. You can see it in the 2D, but you can't see it in the 3D environment, which is good. Perfect. All right, so our door frame is done. So the next thing we want to do, I'm going to scale this down again. So that's what we were talking about. I'm just going to go ahead because it looks when it looks blurry like that, your scale's too high. All right. If you scale it down and it looks like it's repeating over and over and over in small spaces, you might want to use another texture. so the one that we're using here seems to be just fine. It just needs to be scaled down. So we're done. Now what we're gonna do, we don't need the walls anymore. Okay. So we're gonna click on this, and did we take the wall out of the center there? Yeah, we did. That's why. Yeah. Anyway, so you can delete the walls one by one by one. That's one way to do it. You can get the job done. We're gonna just hold the model, and we're just gonna drag it out of there. Okay. That's the quickest and easiest way to do it, because that's how we do things on this channel. The easy way. All right. Not to say that there's a hard way, but if there is a hard way, it's then it is what it is. But there's our door frame. Let's go ahead and let's compare. See if we've done our job. see if we have taught you guys right. And oops, I need to up my height. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's almost a card. If you didn't know any better, you would have thought you just like copied and pasted it, that door frame. Anyway, so there you go. You can see the scale's better with the texture compared to the one on the left. So yeah, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and begin the export process, which again, it's just a right click, pull up OBJ, give it a file name, and that's it. So I'm gonna left click with my mouse and hold that and highlight the model. Boom. Export to OBJ and give it a file name. And you can put it in documents. You can put this again. I think we've mentioned we have Sweet Home builds. So you can make yourself a folder called Sweet Home builds, or just Sweet Home models or something. So in the future, if you do something like this, where you can put it, and you can use this over and over again. This is not a one-time deal. Once you've built the door frame, you're kind of good to go. So, so this is something that's a handy, I guess you could say. It's that Sweet Home builds folder. It works great. So we're good there. We want to export selected, and definitely not all. If you do all, everything goes, including your house. Okay, everything. So I'm going to show you a little trick here. Again, is this relevant to the tutorial? Not necessarily. But you can see our door frame is kind of beefy there on the depth. We're going to make it 4 inches. That's what we're looking for, because our wall is 3 inches. So the door frame needs to be seen on either side of the wall. As I lose my voice, I think I'm going to grab a drink. Pardon me. And Speaking of McDonald's. Anyway, so yeah, we want our door frame to be 3 inches, or 4 inches, excuse me, because our wall is 3 inches. But let's just say, okay. Oh, forgot, door window, almost forgot. That's where the magic happens, okay. But, there we go. So let's go find our door, and we'll continue on with the tip here. All right, there it is. And let's get that into place. We're going to have to remove the other door frame. You can see it's working. I don't know if it's working properly, but perhaps it is. So we're going to spin this around clockwise. Okay, I think we did a really good job there. If we did, leave a comment. Let us know. You know, did we do good? It's trash. It's a garbage. All right. Let us know if there's any other tutorials that you guys like to see too. Drop them down in the comments. Subscribe. We're going to be doing tutorials more often because seems like that's what folks like. Okay, there it is. It works. There it is. So let's just say I used my arrow key. Okay. And so when you use your arrow key, the door frame stays the dimension that it is. So let's just say hypothetically your door frame was 1 foot in depth, and you highlight it and you use your arrow key. Well, it's going to stay that, right? Now let's say let's do this. Let's just do something silly. Okay, we're going to up our wall height. Put a little beef on it, and if we mouse over the door frame, your door frame will then become whatever the wall thickness is. Okay. So in practical terms, if your door frame was 1 foot in depth, which is ridiculous, but your wall was 3 inches in thickness, then if you just moused over it, then your door frame would go from 1 foot in depth to 3 inches in depth. Okay. So little tip there. Okay. What else do we need to do? I know we need to make the... Okay, that works. The door frame seems a little short, so we may need to make that a bit taller. But for all intents and purposes, guys, that is the door frame, and you can see it from both sides of your from the wall. Okay, so let's go get our door. Let's finish up here and get a door. I'm also going to up this height. It was an edit. Sorry, that was an edit. Okay, so we're going to center the door first, and then we're going to give our door height second. Okay, and third, we're going to just give it a little twist. And our door, that door looks really thin, so we're going to have to up the, and we did, that was another edit. We upped the, because the video is getting long, so we're going to just start skipping ahead. But we gave some depth to the door. And you can see the hinges there. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Is it clipping there on the door frame? Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, guys, that is how you do an open door. And again, once you do it, unless you want to have a different design, which I'll show you here in a second, of door frame, then you can just use this over and over and over again. Right? You can change the texture, you can change the height, whatever. So this is the model that we had. This is the original model, and you can see it was clipping and tearing. So there you go. But anyway, guys, there's your fancy door frame there. I think we did another video like this, I don't know, a few years back, but it wasn't a tutorial. But once again, if you like the video, consider like it, consider subscribing. If you're new, we'd love to have you on board. Hope you guys like the rambling. Maybe you don't, I don't know. But hopefully you like the tutorial, and that's what counts. So we will be doing another tutorial very soon, probably like in a couple of weeks. But until then, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Signing off for now. Goodbye, everybody.